Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be talking about how to name our variables. So for this first one we have a list of 3 items and we called the variable myList. Although it is myList because I made it, it's probably not the best name for it, especially if we're going to have more lists in our program, and if we get down a few lines we're not going to know which list this is referring to. So maybe naming it something like grocery list would be a good idea. Also, notice that this is called list because that's what it is, but it doesn't have to be like that. We can do something like this where we are using a plural, and a plural allows us to understand that this is a list also. So that's a pretty good practice. The next one is the word hello. Although hello is a word, we can be a little bit more specific and maybe call it like a greeting. Yeah, we'll leave that at that. The next one, how much the paddle costs. Very specific name. Nicely done. Probably a little bit too long. Imagine using this a bunch of times throughout your program. It actually will probably make your program harder to read. So we can dwindle this down to just a word or two. And now it's a little bit more specific with price and paddle. Notice also that we have an underscore. Underscores allow us to separate words because we can't use spaces when naming variables. For the next one, we have can drive, and that is for Booleans. So it's pretty good practice to go ahead and name, or to start our names of Booleans with verbs like is, can, did, and so on. It's really nice when we get to the point where we have to use this in like an if statement. We say if can drive, and that's either going to be true or false. Really nice to read your code this way, as opposed to if drive, if that's all you named this one up here. So try starting your Boolean names with verbs from now on. For the next one, we have a constant. Constants are usually all caps. Again, we have underscores, and the all caps allows us to know that we should never change its value at any point throughout our program by accident. So don't do that. Some things to be aware of. If we have variables that start with numbers, that's no good. Also, starting variable names with special characters, also no good. We can have numbers elsewhere in the name of our variable. We cannot have special characters though. There is one exception, and that is having an underscore at the beginning. And that is okay because this is usually used for naming private variables. So in summary, we try to keep our names of our variables to be only words. Try not to chuck in numbers, especially not special characters. And we'll try to keep them down to like 1, 2, or 3 names long. Notice that we are using plurals for lists. We're we're starting our variable names with verbs for Booleans, and we're using all capital letters for constants. Now that you learn how to name your variables, maybe you can take a peek at some math operators right over here, or you can go back and take a look at our intro to data types right over here. Either way, have a good day. Bye-bye.